how to stop people from making fun of you as a vegan. What's up, Ryuji here, and my mission in life is to create a world where animals are not exploited. And this channel is for me to share with you my experiences and the lessons that I'm learning along the way. And so what I want to talk about today is what you can start doing right now so that people stop making fun of you, stop bullying you, stop shaming you, stop giving you shit for being vegan. So, to get right into it, before we talk about the actual solutions, I think it's really important for us to understand, why do people do this in the first place? Why do people shame us? Why do people make fun of us? Why do people bully us, etc., etc.? Well, there are many ways to look at it, but one thing that's for sure is that when people make fun of you, they are seeking a reaction. They're doing it because when they make fun of you, they bully you, you're reacting in a certain way. Either you get really upset, you get really angry, perhaps you just walk away and just seem really upset. Whatever it is, you are somehow reacting, and because they see that what they're doing is poking holes in your little armor, they find pleasure in that, or comfort, or relief, and they'll keep doing it. To explain this in a way that's probably gonna make a lot of sense to you, I wanna make an analogy between bullying and making fun of people and tickling. If you've ever tickled anyone in your life, you might remember that the only way that it's actually fun to tickle people is if that person is actually reacting to you tickling them. Imagine you try to tickle them and they kind of don't do anything, and they literally look at you and they're like, this is just literally not affecting me. Then you'll probably stop really quickly because it's not fun to tickle that person. Same thing with all these things, making fun, bullying, shaming. If people are not getting a reaction, they'll stop real fast because it's not fun, there's no point, and quite honestly, if you're bullying someone and there's literally no reaction, then you look really, really stupid, and no one wants to be in that position. So that's the basic solution, right? Is to stop reacting. And to go even deeper into this topic, it's not about not doing anything, because you might hear this and be like, oh, okay, I guess then I should just not speak back. I should just not do this thing where I try to argue with them, and I should just say nothing. But it's not about the actual actions that you take. It's about actually being emotionally unreactive. For example, for me, when people try to make fun of me, when people shame me, I literally don't feel it. It literally feels like someone took a twig off the ground and tried to throw it at my back, and I like literally don't even feel it. It doesn't affect me emotionally at all. I don't feel angry, I don't feel upset, I just literally don't care. And it's really about doing that, because I want you to picture, imagine you're tickling someone, but they're trying really hard not to react. You know that they're about to crack, but they're trying so hard not to react. Well, you're probably gonna wanna go and continue doing that even more so that you can crack them and they can start laughing, and then it's really fun, right? So it's about actually not reacting. Now, this is easier said than done. And so what I want to share with you with the rest of this video is one way that I've been able to really, move towards a place where I don't react to things. I want to tell you that many years ago, not that many years ago, but say like 6 years ago, when I really started going this journey of personal development where I discovered a lot of these tools, I was at a place where I was very emotionally reactive. I was actually a really miserable person, pretty much. I was pretty sad. I didn't smile for weeks and months at a time. And just life kind of sucked, to be honest with you. And one thing that really helped me out, and this is going to help you out too in this situation, is this idea that's called reframing. Now, I got this from a field of study called neurolinguistic programming that's all about how our language and the way that we think affects our subjective experience of life. Also many, many other things. This is a very blanket kind of explanation of the whole field. But this idea of reframing is the idea that when things happen out in the real world, it's up to us, and we have a choice of how we're gonna interpret those events, right? So for example, when someone makes fun of you, when someone shames you, or someone bullies you, you can choose to interpret that in a couple different ways. You can choose to interpret that by being like, you know what, I'm a victim, these people are mean, life sucks, etc., etc. When you replay the event in your mind, first of all, you can choose to replay the event over and over in your mind, where you literally hear that person saying that mean thing over and over again. Perhaps you see it on a big screen in your mind, it's like in color, you literally see the person being in your face saying that over and over again. Well, think about if that's the way that you're interpreting that experience, no wonder it's such an unpleasant experience, and no wonder you're reacting to it, because you're just overblowing it in your head, right? On the flip side, what if instead of seeing it in huge, playing it over and over again, the thing happens and then you just play it again in your head one more time, but perhaps that person sounds completely ridiculous. For example, one of my mentors, Owen, he used to do this thing where, you know, every time that someone would say something that was mean or hater comments or something that was just ridiculous, he would reframe it in his mind and say it in the voice of that one character from South Park. I never even watched South Park, but he'd be like, you're stupid, you're a bad person, what is wrong with you? You are bad, you are bad. I don't know if I'm doing it right at all, but the point is, he would reframe things in that way, and because that's how hater comments or when people made fun of him, that's how it would play in his head, it wouldn't bother him at all because he'd be like, huh, that's kind of funny, that's kind of ridiculous, and just forget about it, right? Other ways that you can do this, for example, in NLP, they'll talk about how, well, when you relive an event, you can relive it in big and color, right in front of your face, or you can choose in your head to store that memory as something that's far away. You literally see it in black and white on a tiny screen in your mind, and it can even be a little bit blurry, right? So there are many ways to do this, but the way that I've done it for years now, for 5 or 6 years I've been doing this, is I really reframe things in a way that's positive, in a way that's funny, in a way that's fun, to the point now where literally any bad thing that happens, I'm reframing it real quick as something that's really funny. I laugh about everything, right? And you know, when you start doing this, because you might hear this and you might be like, okay, cool, Ryuji, I should probably start reframing things in my life. Maybe when the next time someone makes fun of me, I'm just gonna play that in my head in a way that's, you know, is just kind of like really funny and just make fun of it. But you're like, actually in that situation, you're actually doing it, and it's easier said than done again, you know? So this is a journey. This is something that you're gonna do over and over and over again. It's a skill that you learn, and for me, when I started doing this, it was very, very unnatural, right? Like something would happen, so I would talk to someone, it would be really awkward, and they would be like, I can't even think of it. See, like that's the thing, because the other part of this too, by the way, is that as soon as you replay that, as soon as you reframe it, you want to just forget about it. Like literally when people say mean things to me now or make fun of me, I forget about it like straight away. I can't even think of an example to use. Like that's how quickly I forget, and that's how much, like, there's no space in my brain for all these things. But the point is, you know, at first someone would say something mean, say in this context, they'll be like, well, you know what, I'm gonna eat this pig anyways because it tastes good, and like, you know, someone says something like that, and you know, I might just reframe it in my head like that. But at first it was this really unnatural process, right? So 5 or 6 years ago, I might have been in a place where someone says something and I'm like, oh, okay, I should do the thing I learned from the internet now where I reframe things, let's go. And I'm like, okay, do the funny voice, I'm still gonna eat meat because it tastes good. Now I'm like, I should probably laugh about this now because it was funny. And it's like really awkward, right? So I definitely went through that, and you know, it's a journey, it's a learning process, right? But the more you do this, and the more you put yourself, the more you force yourself through this process, the easier it's gonna become, the more natural it's gonna become. And now, like I said, when something happens, when something bad happens, I reframe it really, really quickly. And as I'm sure you can guess, this is something that's not only gonna help you in the situations where people are making fun of you, or people are shaming you, but really in all situations in your life. Because, you know, honestly, there's no point in dwelling on things that go wrong. There's no point in complaining about things, and being angry about things, and being upset about things, because yeah, that might give you a false sense of temporary relief, but trust me, it feels way better when you just laugh the whole thing off and just feel awesome about the whole thing. So I really advise you to kind of move in that direction in your life in general. It's something that helped me a lot. But in that case, where what's gonna happen is that the more you do this, the more you kind of reframe things in your mind, the more you're able to laugh things off really, really easily. And when you laugh things off, when people make fun of you and, you know, all of a sudden you're kind of like laughing about it, you can even make fun of yourself, right? Because you see the humor in the whole thing. People are just gonna stop doing that real quick because it's just not fun. It's just, there's just no point in doing it. So that was it, how to stop people from making fun of you, shaming you, bullying you, whatever it is. How to stop people from basically giving you shit for being vegan. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Hope you learned something in this video. You know, if you have any more questions about this topic or anything else that you want me to make a video about, let me know in the comments or send me a DM on Instagram. That's by far the best place to reach me. In any case, thank you again. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this content. Really appreciate it. I helped this channel out a great deal. Anyways, thank you again so much for watching. See you next time. Peace.